my name is Lauren, and today I'll be doing the Page to Screen book tag. Thank you to Nix for giving me this idea. I'll put her link to her channel in the description below. Go check that one out. But today we get to talk about some adaptations, which I love. There's 13 questions in this tag, so I'm just gonna go through and answer them all. Question 1 is, what Page to Screen adaptation made you cry in reaction to both formats? Let's see. All of these. Question 2 is, what Page to Screen are you looking forward to this year? I don't really know of any that are coming out this year, but I'm always looking forward to the Daisy Jones and the Six TV show that they're doing. I don't know when that's coming out, but hopefully they do it justice. Question 3 is, what Page to Screen series were you happy to see discontinued? I think we all breathed a collective sigh of relief when they stopped making these movies. It was almost like the actors were like contractually obliged to go through with them, and then as soon as those contracts were up, they were like, yep, I'm out of here. Not only were we all relieved when they stopped making these, but the actors were also relieved. At a certain point, you can't keep knocking off the Hunger Games, you know? The first one was good. Question 4 is, what series would you like to see as a Page to Screen? So many. So when I think of authors who have a really visual writing style, I immediately think of V.E. Schwab. She has such a visual writing style. Her action scenes, I think, would translate really good to screen. I think she's doing a TV show. She's writing the pilot for the TV show for A Darker Shade of Magic, so I'm excited to see what happens with that. The other series I think of is The Scythe by Neil Shusterman. He is a screenwriter, I think. And you can definitely tell that when you're reading his books. It's all very visual. There's not a whole lot of interiority. There's just like small little moments of it. So I think it would be really easy to translate that one to screen. And I would love to see that whole, I'm not going to say what happens, but at the end of Thunderhead, that whole, all of that's happening. Can you imagine on screen? Can you imagine the budget for that? I would also actually really like to see the Charlotte Holmes series be turned into like a mini TV show, a mini series. I think it would be really good. Like one book per season. There's 4 books. 4 books? Yeah, there's 4 books. One mystery per season. There's a lot of like teenage things in here. The characters are some of the strongest and like most well-rounded teens that I've ever read, which kind of makes sense since they have like literal like hundreds of adaptions that they can pull from. But I think this would make a really good teen TV series. Somebody hire me to write that. I'm there. Question 5 is, what Page to Screen is in production that you are excited about? Daisy Jones and the Six, cautiously optimistic about that one. The Six of Crows Grishaverse thing that they're doing, also cautiously optimistic about that one. And the A Darker Shade of Magic TV show that's coming out. I'm ready. Question 6 is, what Page to Screen do you appreciate as 2 separate entities? So for this one, I know there's a lot of big fans of the book and a lot of big fans of the movie, and they really don't always line up. I actually really enjoyed both, and that's The Shining by Stephen King. So there's hardcore Kubrick movie fans, and then there's the hardcore like book fans. Actually, there's probably not as many book fans, but like Stephen King has even said that he like hates the Kubrick movie. So the movie, what is that? Something is crawling around in my room. Is it Stanley Kubrick's ghost? So as I was saying, Stanley Kubrick's ghost, the movie is obviously like iconic. Like we have some iconic images, here's Johnny, the 2 twins standing at the end of that creepy long hallway, the blood coming in from all sides, little kid on his tricycle thing, an iconic performance from Jack Nicholson. But I also really enjoyed the books. Like there were some elements that wouldn't have translated to screen but were good in the book. So like the big moving hedges at the end was kind of like a weird thing. Like all of the hedges in the front garden were shaped like animals and they like came to life and chased people, so that was kind of fun. But also in the book you get to understand a little bit more about Jack's motivation and his history, and a little bit more about the family dynamics than you do get to see on in the movie. Question 7 is, what Page to Screen did you not vibe with? There are a lot of crappy movies based on books out there. So yeah, the 2 biggest offenders that I've seen and sat through while drunk watching it with my friends were the Americanized version of Death Note. Don't Talk to Me. That was atrocious. That was actually atrocious. The other one, can't forget about this. Who remembers Fallen by Lauren Kate? Well, guess what? They made a movie out of it. It's on Hulu. It hurts to watch that movie. It's like all of the worst things about Twilight. It's like they took all of the worst things about Twilight and like compressed it down, like filtered out the like kind of enjoyable moments, and then just like compressed it into a movie. Ugh. Question 8 is, what is the best page to screen adaptation you've ever watched? One that came out last year that I thought was brilliant was the Good Omens TV show adaptation by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. So Neil Gaiman was actually the showrunner on that show, and because of that, the show was so meticulously put together. Like, there are little Easter eggs in there. The performances are on point. John Hamm, Michael Sheen, David Tennant. Can't remember the name of the lady who plays God. And then all of the supporting cast are so good. The other two best ones I want to talk about are Misery by Stephen King. That book and movie was so good. You have William Goldman like shredding up that story. And the other one I want to say is The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot, because any girl who's my age remembers watching The Princess Diaries and just wanting to be Mia, what's her name? Mia Thermopolis? That sounds like thermometer. I'm sure she has like an actual name. Question 9 is, what page to screen did you watch and the ending was better on the screen? I haven't read this, but there's a reason why every adaptation of this book changes the ending. Question 10 is, what did you enjoyably watch on the screen and you'd like to read it on the page? I'd definitely say The Umbrella Academy. They are a series of graphic novels by, I can't remember the guy's name, but these people. And that one guy is the lead singer of My Chemical Romance. Question 11. What page to screen have you neither watched nor read because you can't choose which to do first? I don't know I'm pretty decisive about that sort of thing. I guess the only one is The Handmaid's Tale. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna watch the show or read the book like at all. I read the graphic novel and it still was a lot for me. Like I just, bleak books and bleak stories without like much glimmers of hope like really get me down. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do either of those. Question 12 is, what page to screen can you happily live without? For me, I have two that are sort of for similar reasons. The first is 13 Reasons Why, and the second one is All the Bright Places. I enjoyed both of these as books when I read them like 10 years ago, but there are issues with these books in the way that they sort of discuss mental health and suicide, and I just think there are a lot better stories that talk about those topics that could be adapted. In both cases, I see where the nuance could sort of come in a book, but I think that especially when you take that sort of stuff and put it on screen, it's very easy to lose that nuance and for an audience to just sort of fill in the gaps of the storyline themselves, because you're not really in a character's head and they're not really explaining their feelings as much as they would be in a book. Question 13 is, what have you recently read that you'd like to see on the screen? If they can do it right, I would love an Evelyn Hugo adaptation, but that has to be very on point. They have to do the story justice. The other one I would like to see is probably Red, White, and Royal Blue, because I think it would be a really cute little romance. That's all of my questions. I'm going to tag a few people down in the description, so thank you for watching. And if you want to do this tag, please do, because I'd love to hear about more adaptations that I haven't heard of. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.